Check 1, 2 to 1. Testing the sound. Sound check 1, 2 to 1. Test 3 to 1. Sound check. Sound check 1. Test 1. Prayers for Shri Vrindavan behind as we continue to pray for Lord Krishna's blessings to be conveyed to her. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Bhutavadhisevitam Kapitjambhufalacharuvakshanam Umasukam shokavinashakarakam Namami Vighaneshwarapankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaram Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Lakshmi Karot Kalyanam Arubhim Sukhasantara Mama Shatru Vinashaya Deepa Jyotire Namastute Nagendrahaya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaravaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shudhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namah Shivaya Manujram Marutulya Veram Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Vadishtam Vakatmajam Vanarayocha Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prabhate Namo Namaha. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansacharmurdhanam Devaki Paramanandam Paramanandam Madhavam. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Offer the flowers there, both pictures there. Take a look at the diya for this arati. Namaste. Chandan in the two pictures for Lord Krishna. The flowers in the two pictures. Om Agni Mile Purvadam. That's it from the picture in that way, like this. Yajna Devanithvajam, like that, he has one. Shri Rameshwaraya Namaha Swaha, Shri Agindevataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Suryaye Namaha Swaha. Very important. You need to take the spoon, so when the spoon hot, you give it flow easily. Shri Rameshwaraya Namaha Swaha, Shri Agindevataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Somdevataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Chandra Devataye Namaha Swaha. I see the incense sticks here, there's some incense, no? Shri Brihaspati Devataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Shukra Devataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Shani Devataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Rahu Devataye Namaha Swaha, Shri Ketu Devataye Namaha Swaha, Om Namo Narayanaye Namaha Swaha, Shri Prajapataye Namaha Swaha, Om Sarvadevi Devatabhyo Namo Namaha Swaha. Divina, Dev Prabhu. Swaha, Banaspati, Surabhutu, Gandhyaju, Gandhutanam, Agrayam Sarvadevam, Dhupayam Pratigratam, Swaha. Oh, the Giruta, that's a fire again. Sarvati Raksamayitam, Sugandhim, Vidmanam, Jalam, Achmanyam, Mayaratam, Grahanam, Parameshwaram. Like this in sense. Pictures there. Hariom Banaspati Surabhutu Gandhyaju Gandhutanam Agrayam Sarvadevanam Dhupoyam Pratigratam Dhupoyam Samadhyam. Take the arti chaya. So right there. Sajam Chavachitam Yuktam Mahina Yojatam Vayam Deepam Grahan Devasya Trailokyam Timarapaham Yani Kani Chapapani Janmantra Kridanisha Ani Tani Vinashanti Pradakshina Prade Prade Prem Simulesh Vrindavan Bihanilana Ki Jai. Sani Lucha water. Put the flowers in the Parmasar. So make this offering in the name of the deceased Batiah Parmasar. We pray that Lord Krishna will accept this offering and bestow the benefit and blessings of these upon her. Hari Om Rita Prakhavan Avishyanam Payasam Chashakaram Nana Vidan Shane Vidyam Shri Krishna Dhamani Vidyam Samarpayami. Prashadaya Lord Krishna picture here and bow and say Krishna Arpan. 2 times. You got all the flowers and tulsi leaf and offer a very picture here. Flowers and tulsi leaf here. Take some of the parasad and put it in this chariot to Bhavan. Yeah. Receive one more again. Cover it and give them to take it back. Now somebody will take back the parasad. Right, someone come back to share the chandan. And of course, based on our karma, we will re-enter into this cycle of birth and death once more. And so we begin with glorification of Lord Ganesh. Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana Shankara Suvan Bhavani Nandana Shankara Suvan Bhavani Nandana Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana Gaiye Ganapati Jagmandana सिद्धि सदन गज वरन विनायक सिद्धि सदन गज वरन विनायक कृपा सिंधु सुंदर सबलायक शंकर सुवन भवानी शंकर सुवन भवानी गणपति गणपति शंकर सुवन भवानी शंकर सुवन भवानी गणपति गणपति मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोड़ी मांगत तुलसीदास कर जोड़ी बसहि सिया मानस भूमि शंकर सुवन भवानी शंकर सुवन भवानी गणपति शंकर सुवन भवानी शंकर the blessings of Lord Ganesh, all success comes to that devotee. When we secure the blessings of Bhagwan Ganapati, whatever we embark upon, the blessings of Lord Ganesh brings to us success and happiness and the fulfillment of all goals and desires. The blessings of the mother is incomparable and unparalleled in our lives. This bhajan we dedicate to mother. It says, Kya Gokul dekho main kya Mathura jamu. I do not have to go to Gokula or to Mathura to see Bhagwan or to obtain the blessings of Bhagwan. But indeed, when I look upon the face of my mother, the same loving nature of Bhagwan is seen in that of my mother. Kya Dharati Mata or Kya Ganga Maya. All of these are various forms and manifestation of the Divine Mother. And of course, our earthly mother brings to us those same blessings and joy and happiness. सबसे बड़ी माँ है सबसे बड़ी माँ है क्या बोलूं क्या तू मेरी माता की तस्वीर है मेरी राजा तू मेरी माता की तस्वीर है मेरी राजा तू मेरी मुस्कान की तस्वीर है मेरी राजा तू माता तेरा मेरा मुझे से मन है राजा क्या गोपी तू क्या रखना जाऊं ये मुझे वाला है मुझे वाला है क्या धरती माता है क्या गंगा मैया ये सबसे बड़ी माँ है सबसे बड़ी माँ है क्या गोपी तू क्या तेरा दुनिया में बन जाए सबसे ऊंचा, माँ तेरा क्या धरती माता और क्या गंगा, सबसे बड़ी माँ है, सबसे बड़ी माँ है। क्या रूप देखूं मैं, क्या मथुरा जाऊं। Even though when our earthly mother is no longer with us, yet we continue to honor her and of course remember the great contribution and the great sacrifice that she has made towards whatever position or whatever situation we enjoy in life, my dear friends. It is through the contribution of both mother and father. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना सांस श्वास की रक्षा करती, पग पग प्राण बचाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। ऋषियों की सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ। तू ऋषियों की सिद्धि, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्तिमान। तू हाथों से भाग जगाती, भागी भागी आती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। आपकी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। तू काली महाकाली दुर्गा, तू ही बाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है। Your love and affection, O Mother, protects us against all dangers in this world. It protects our every breath. It protects our lives through every step of our journey in this world. So I pass you on to members of the group. We'll have a couple more bhajans, and then of course we'll have our katha for tonight.
कृष्ण जिनका नाम है, गोकुल जिनका नाम है, ऐसे श्री भगवान को, ऐसे श्री भगवान
Jeev Atma to return. The time allotted has expired. Hey Meri Atma, come to me, O Atma. Abachal Karalivina, it is time for us to meet again. And so, the Jeev Atma, in the very tiny form of the Angushmat, that is the tip of the finger, will remove itself from this physical body. And of course, we know that the moment the cosmic energy, the soul is separated from this physical body, death occurs. Jyoti Bindu Paramatma Se ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर मिलन अब चल कर मिलन परमानंद अनुभव कर परमानंद अनुभव कर धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से ऐ मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर अब चल कर अब चल कर परमात्मा से मेरी आत्मा अब चल करे नियम, अब चल करे नियम, अब चल करे नियम। ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज नहाने, परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बनकर तू शुभ वर पाले। हो किरण किरण को निरखन से, हो किरण किरण को निरखन से, हो जान में मगन। अब चल कर नियम, अब चल कर नियम। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। And so, my dear friends, the moment that separation occurs between the gross and the cosmic bodies, this physical body and this Jiva Atma, of course, death occurs. In a very tiny form of the Angushmat, as we described, the tip of the finger, the prey desires to journey till it has received the This is the nature of the soul. This body, birth has been given to this body. This body was born, so this body would die. This body is prone to old age and sickness and disease and so on. But the soul does not age. Because the soul, that Jiva Atma, has come from the Paramatma. Remember, the Paramatma is Lord Krishna. And so the Jiva Atma possesses all the innate qualities of the Paramatma. Just as Bhagavan is not subjected to birth and death. You know, when Krishna avatar came to an end, Bhagavan didn't die. Bhagavan reascended. You know, there was ascension to the heavenly regions of Vaikuntha. When Sri Ram avatar came to an end, Sri Ram did not die in the normal way that a human being would die. He went into the Sari river and he ascended. There was an ascension that took place. My dear friends, before the eyes of those who were there, Hanuman Swami and others, just a brilliant flash of light was seen, and Bhagavan disappeared, my dear friends, from the waters of the Sari river. So he represents that. The doors are opened for me to return to you, O Prabhu. This is what occurs, my dear friends, when we return into the safe and secure embrace of Lord Krishna. And so, devotees, as we described earlier this morning when we were performing the Bandaara, that journey, as we described, runs for 1 year, and of course we're coming up now, this is 11 months, isn't it? We're coming up to the climatic conditions I experienced during the course of this journey. Some of the cities are hot, desert-like conditions prevail. Some are very cold, ice cold, as we say, glacial temperatures, you know, just as we find at the top of the Himalayan mountain, which is of course a glacier. So too, this last way to the Pret, the departed, to Adima Pitra Devata, and of course, whenever these discomforts are experienced, then of course, Bhagavan Krishna shelters that individual from these extremes of cold and heat and so on. जग की आँख कौन भला उस भाग को पूछो, कौन भला उस भाग को पूछो, हो जिसका तेरी किस्मत में लिखा है, तेरी किस्मत में रोते हैं वो पंख भरे साथ तेरे जो रोते हैं वो पंख भरे साथ तेरे जो जिनके साथ लगाए तूने अरमानों को भीगी अखियों से ही उनकी भीगी अखियों से ही उनकी आज दुआएं मिले किसको पता अब इस नगरी में किसको पता अब इस नगरी में कब होके रात इस डाली के जिस पर तेरा वसीला था आज यहाँ कल हो वहाँ जो भी मेरा था ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी चारू भरी का तेरा था सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में इसको आओ बारिश में तेरी धरना कर जो तेरी मेहनत धरना कर जो तेरी मेहनत तेरा अच्छा है कुछ ये जाने से अच्छा है कुछ ये जाने से ये कभी कुछ नहीं जाना instant the prayer journeys to Bandaara. But this is the speed with which the intermediate body travels. We spoke of earlier that once this physical body has been burned away to ashes, then this body really is a vehicle to take us across this Bhavsagar. And when this part of the journey comes to an end, of course, the Atma enters into the new body, which is called a Sthula Sharira, formed together, my dear friends, when all the pindas are offered, just about 1 arm's length. And it is this body that travels with the speed of the wind. So this is why the bhajan says, in an instant, let's take up the incense that fell off there, Dave, and put it into the other. In an instant, the prayer journeys to Vrindavan, to Yamuna, to Ganga to get darshan of Bhagavan. Just as you would feel the wind pass by you, my dear friends, so too the plate travels with the speed of the wind. And so this is why this journey, my dear friends, although it is a very lengthy journey, 86,000 yojanas. Now the yojan is the Hindu measure of distance. And 1 yojan is approximately 8 miles. So 86,000 yojanas by 8 You see it's well in excess of 640,000 miles. But as we see, that plate travels with the speed of the wind and under the directives of Yamdut, my dear friends, arrives, as we say, in that city of Sikadiyani, just around this time, around 11 months. That's the final of the 16 cities in Yamdut. But we want to focus more so, my dear friends, what actually occurs at the end of the year. And at the end of the year, the plate must present itself, or himself, or herself, in the presence of Yamaraj. The palace of Yamaraj is very magnificent to behold, as described in Garud Puran. There are 4 entrances that leads into the palace of Yamaraj, corresponding with the 4 cardinal directions, east, west, north, and south. 3 of these are very good. East, west, and north, very good. If you are led into those entrances, this is a good sign. The southern entrance is not good at all. But who determines, my dear friends, which entrance we would be directed into the palace of Yamaraj to face Yamaraj, who would be between those of us who are alive and those who have died, is those of us who are alive are just a few footsteps behind those who have already died. Meaning, it might take a few years, a few months, who knows, maybe a few days, but eventually, my dear devotees, we will all travel the same journey. This bhajan describes what we are discussing in Katha, that interaction between the karma that we're performing now and how, of course, it will influence us here as well as in the hereafter. Prani re, prani re. It says, Teri karam kahani, teri atma bhijani, paramatma bhijani. This life story, my dear friends, is being written by the karma that we perform. Prani re, prani re. Teri karam kahani, teri atma bhijani, paramatma bhijani. Teri karam kahani, teri atma bhijani, paramatma bhijani. Kaha chute prani prani, prani re, prani re. Kaha chute prani prani, teri atma bhijani, paramatma bhijani. Teri karam kahani, teri atma bhijani, paramatma bhijani. कितने कर दो पाप कमाने तू, कितने जन्मों से ये छुपाए तू, कितने कर दो पाप कमाने तू, कितने जन्मों से ये छुपाए तू, हर पूरे की कहानी प्राण रे, प्राण पूरे की कहानी सफल देती है, जब जिसने देखी है कदम देती है, जैसे कोई कोई उसे वैसा फल देती है। तुमने बोला क्या था प्राणी, प्राणी रे, प्राणी रे। तुमने बोला क्या था प्राणी, तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी, तेरी कर्म कहानी, तेरी आत्मा भी जानी, परमात्मा भी जानी। प्रभु की दुआरी तेरा आना ही बहुत है, बोल के न बोल पछताना ही बहुत है, प्रभु की दुआरी तेरा आना ही बहुत है, बोल के न बोल पछताना ही बहुत है, जो है गीत का सुनाई प्राण जो है गीत का सुनाई तेरी आत्मा भी कहाँ छूटेगा प्राणी रे कहाँ छूटेगा They would then determine and direct the travelers, the plate, which entrance to and puja, would offer the lot of jal, would perform the havan, who would visit the mandir, who would give dhan, ones who would have qualified to enter into these auspicious and favorable entrances. It is related here in the Garud Purana that for those who have done extremely good karma, once this is revealed in an episode where Durvasa Muni had visited Yamaraj, and as he was speaking with Yamaraj, very suddenly a beautiful Singhasana appeared, like a Pushpak Viman, which is the aerial chariot, and someone who was seated upon that chariot who resembled the Devatas themselves, my dear friends, appeared. And Yamaraj said to Durvasa Muni, just give me one moment, O Durvasa Muni. And he took the arati chariot like you have here, and he went and performed that person's arati, and then that Pushpak Viman was seen ascending heavenwards towards Vaikuntha. And so Durvasa Muni, when Yamaraj had returned, he inquired, he says, O Yamaraj, you are worshipped by people all over the world, that when they would arrive here, they would face good consequences and so on. Tell me, who is so important that you have to go and perform the arati, and where are they going now in this beautifully decorated Pushpak Viman? And so he says to him, O Durvasa, that individual was a great devotee. He has lived an exceedingly good life. And on account of living this life of a bhakta, he is seated upon this Pushpak Viman and ascending to the abode of Lord Krishna in Vaikuntha. Sometimes many of our people get lost in this journey. So the bhajan says, Kano me zara keh de, Kano me zara keh de, ki aaye kaun दिशा से हम तू प्यार का सागर है तू प्यार. Those who are ascending upwards in the Pushpak Viman, they attain moksha or mukti, to attain that oneness with the Supreme Paramatma. And then of course there are those who would be pleased when they present themselves before Yamaraj. Yamaraj will be pleased with their karma, that you have lived a good life, you have lived a decent life, but you have made some errors along the way, so I will grant you this human form once more, to do that which you will continue to have been doing from your Purva Janam, to live that life of a bhakta, to once again being given the opportunity to attain mukti or moksha. But my dear friends, there are those who would have, committed treasonous acts, very sinful acts. Today when we look around, we see so many acts of violence and murders and what have you and so on. Very atrocious behavior. My dear friends, there are penalties and there are punishment for all of these atrocities. And those individuals, my dear friends, lose this human form. And this morning when we finished the first part of the Shraddha here, Dave wrote Ram Naam Satya Hai 8.4. Remember that day? 8.4 is 84 lakh yogi, 8,400,000 species of life that Bhagavan has created. This human form is the most highly evolved of all. But when we use it for the wrong purposes, my dear friends, we lose it. And when we lose this human form, we devolve into the lesser forms of life. And so that individual may be reborn into this Avagaman, the cycle of birth and death once more, but not in this human form. They lose this human form, my dear friends, and devolve into the animal form. So this is another possible outcome, my dear friends. Again, based upon our karma. The karma will determine all of this. And then there is yet another outcome when the karma is very bad, my dear friends. That individual may not be even given the form of an animal, but may be sent to Narak. Narak is a place of great suffering, my dear friends, based on the karma of that individual. There are 21 major forms of Narak. Depending on the severity of the crime or the bad actions and so on, that individual may be sent to that Narak that is suitable for fitting the type of atrocities that he or she may have performed. So everything, my dear friends, is being determined right here, based on the lifestyle that we have right now, based on the karma that we perform right now. We are making those decisions right here. And I remember, as we remember fondly tonight, the deceased Mama Batiah Parmasar. I know she was one who understood the importance of a puja and devotion and so on. In fact, she would have made the time, to perform her puja from time to time. I myself have been at this home for a number of years. I think I started coming here when those children, Shelly and Sandy, were still going to school. So I have known her for a number of years. This bhajan, my dear friends, describes the musafir. And all of us are musafir. We all travelers. Aata hai, jata hai, constant coming and going, meaning those being born into this world and those dying and leaving this world. Aate jate raste mein yaare chhod jata hai. But do not forget the purpose for which you have come here. Kya saath laaye, kya dur aaye. We have many companions here whilst we are alive, but who goes with us? No one accompanies us, my dear friends. As much as we would love that individual, we accompany them up to the fire, and of course, we bid farewell to them. But of course, what accompanies us is the blessings of Lord Krishna. आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है जाता है, आते जाते रास्ते में यादें छोड़ जाता है। आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है जाता है, आते जाते रास्ते में यादें छोड़ जाता है। कब छोड़ता है ये रोग जी को, कब छोड़ता है ये रोग जी को, दिल भूल जाता है जब किसी को, दिल भूल जाता है जब किसी को, वो भूला कर याद आता है, आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है जाता है, आते जाते रस्ते में यादें छोड़ जाता है। क्या साथ आए क्या तोड़ आए, क्या साथ आए क्या तोड़ आए, रास्ते में हम क्या क्या छोड़ आए, रास्ते में हम क्या क्या छोड़ आए, मंजिल पे जाके याद आता है, आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है जाता है, आते जाते रस्ते में यादें छोड़ जाता है। जब तोड़ती है जीवन की नैया, जब तोड़ती है जीवन की नैया, कोई तो बन जाता है खिलैया, कोई तो बन जाता है खिलैया, कोई किनारे पे ही डूब जाता है, आदमी मुसाफिर है, आता है जाता है, आते जाते रस्ते में यादें छोड़ जाता है, यादें छोड़ जाता है, यादें छोड़ जाता है। बोलिए श्री वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। So my dear friends, at the time of birth, we would have embarked upon this journey across this Bhavasagar, and every single day of our lives, we are getting ever so closer to the time when we too would have to take our exit. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, जब चला जाता है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। So we understand this. One day will come, we too will have to leave. But what we do with our time now, my dear friends, is very impactful. It impacts upon us here as well as in the hereafter. So whilst we engage in all the material pursuits and so on, my dear friends, remember, we must also make time for Bhagavan. Tat swarga apavarga sukha dharye tula ik ang tule natahi sakal miri jo sukhlava satsang. That's a doha from Ramayana that tells us that even that one moment of satsang, whether you sit in satsang as you're sitting here now, or you can perform satsang by yourself as well. In other words, you don't necessarily need to have all your music and amplifier and microphone and so on to have satsang. In your home, you can have your satsang. You take out the bhajan book, you sing bhajan, you light diya, you chant mantras, you're having satsang. So, jo sukhalava satsang, that one moment of satsang that you would engage in, continuously over the period of time, through the passage of your life, all those moments of satsang, my dear friends, is going to add up. And this will eventually, ultimately, become our greatest wealth. Nothing in this world belongs to us. But Bhagavan Krishna says, what is yours today was someone else's yesterday, and will become someone else's tomorrow. We become engrossed in this sense of ownership. All of this is mine. Bhagavan says, nahi. In reality, not even this body belongs to us. But the karma that we perform, my dear friends, eventually becomes our greatest wealth or our greatest liability. Our greatest wealth, obviously, if it is good karma, and our greatest liability if it is bad karma. So I'll do one final bhajan, and then someone is speaking after. Right. Glenn is speaking after, and then of course we will also have the final bhavan and final ahiti. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. O Krishna, it is only your darshan that fulfills the purpose of this human birth. It is only your blessings, O Krishna, that enables us to complete this journey through this Bhausagar and also through Yamloka. Tan man pran havale teri kuch mera mani panchi. I surrender unto you, O Madhav Madan. In your hands, O Prabhu, our salvation, our destiny lies. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. Bhakti Bihari ji, aankhon base man bhave. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. कमलिया मोर पुतुल शाम गगन के रंग सजावे साँझ नदी की शाम सारा दिन भर नंद की धूम चढ़ावे मुरारी जी aankhon base man bhave. मैं तुम्हारी जी aankhon base man bhave. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. नींदी जग के कारज करते सोचूं शाम की सोचे रसिया जोगी कान बजाए मुरली बोल पिए तक पहुँचे रास बिहारी जी aankhon base man bhave. शोभा भारी जी aankhon base man bhave. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. तन मन प्राण हवाए तेरी कुछ मेरा मारे पंछी माधव अधर गोवर्धन धारी दर्शन तेरी भीगी मिश्री. Krishna Murari ji, aankhon base man bhave. सुख तुम्हारी जी आँखों से मन भाए ईश्वर मुरारी जी आँखों से मन भाए हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण।
The memories of who she was an incredible person. The beauty of being touched by her in her presence is something that will always stay. For me, it was the smile, you know. To this I was still opening the door in her room to look for my dad. And still hope you see that smile. It was an infectious, wonderful smile. You know, the world really felt perfect when she was there, that smile. And then a couple other things, you know, Dave and I share in common. Don't be late, right? She was always employing, Glenn, don't come late. Or Dave, don't open the shop late. I think that's why we had the funeral, you know, early that morning. She just wanted to make sure the two of them here. They kind of, make sure you're early, you know, for once in your lives. And then it dawned on me long after, while, you know, in the passage of that year, why does someone want you to come early? That's because they love you, they care about you, they want to be with you, they want to spend more time with you. And again, it's testament to who she was, you know. That wonderful, she was incredibly generous with her time, her energy, her spirit, whatever she could offer. She could hold a conversation with anyone. And when you were in her presence, she made you feel like you were the most important person in the world while she was there. You know, that's how you felt in her presence. Anyone, it didn't matter who you were, or friends, you were welcome. You still are, to this day. You know, my dad is still there, the rest of the family is here. But you know, those are the things that she had brought to us. A sense of dedication, hard work, a wonderful sense of humor, and of course we all know how much she loves to dance. So now that the soul is attained in Moksha, I can just picture her in the universe just dancing away. And it brings, you know, a smile, you know, to our lips. I want to say also a little bit to my dad. I asked him if he wanted to say anything. And you know, he said, it's tough at this time. But I've seen something that, you know, makes you realize what a life partner he had with my mother and what they created. My mother passed away on the 16th of January. And until a month ago, he cried every single day. You know, that tells you what love is, what a bond is between two people and what they create. You know, the Hollywood producers can write all the big movies and, you know, the great romance and thing. This is it. The lessons she taught us that we will carry on for the rest of our lives. So I know she's out there and she's listening. And I want to say, you know, tonight, as we always do, thank you, Mama, you know, for all of us. For every ounce of kindness you gave to us, all the love, all the hard work, everything that made us who we are. It is something we will always be grateful for. I said it in the eulogy, you know, it's a debt we can never repay. And I think on the day she was born, as I've said, I think God gave us part of that man. You couldn't ask for something more beautiful to have in your lives. And of course, in addition to, you know, my mother, my father as well. As a family, it's something that will endure us in time to come. So Mama, thank you for the journey, for carrying our burdens, for taking care of us. All of us will have stories to tell, and I don't want to take up too much time, but probably just a couple to illustrate what it was. Once when I was young, you know, and of course in my usual mischievous way, she called me to, you know, to develop a discipline. And I thought I could run away from her. Didn't work. She had a scrubbing brush in her because hard work again she was working. She threw it at me and hit me at the back of my leg. Of course I kind of milk it a little more and I kind of make it seem like it was worse than it was. But it did two things for me. I took up cricket after, so I figured that's where I got my bowling arm from and I did that. But of course I never took sprinting again because, you know, I can't run a man, I can't outrun anybody else. But the other story is that when I was young, I was still in primary school, and those steps up there, I was sitting down there and one morning I was wheezing. I suffered with asthma as a kid. And she came down and she saw me, you know, wheezing that morning. and she decided she would give it to me. She got ill, she used to get tired, but she would sit up with us as long as she could, you know. And when she couldn't, she would go inside and say, you know, don't go. She'll come back out soon again. And one day, this time, Raj and I was here, you know, together. We decided when she was sleeping, so we leave her and go. And the next time we come back, we get her the book. You know, don't do that again. So we learned after that, you know, just tell her, even if we have to wake up. She always said she wasn't sleeping. We knew she was sleeping. Because for those 2 years, it was hard, you know, dealing with her condition. But always a life wire. You know, she called everybody every day. And when she didn't call, you know, okay, that wasn't such a great day. But she would still make the effort and talk to everyone. And we were very happy and grateful for that. So as I said, you know, Mama, you listen to us. So thank you for everything. We value it, we appreciate it, and we know your love is still with us. I know it's an auspicious time now, it's 1 year. Your soul's journey, you know, has come to an end. And I have no doubt you're the purest soul that I know. And you will attain your moksha, and you are where you belong with God. To be at one with God, to be at one with Bhagavan, with Krishna. So I know you like to dance. Now is your time to be dancing and looking out to us. So Mama, may your soul attain moksha, and may you still continue to look down and bless us, and we will look out for you too. And just the way you loved us so much, we will also continue to love you too. Even though you're not physically here with us, we know you surround us in everything that we do. So, in conclusion, I'd just like to say thank you for the journey, thank you for taking care of us, and for everyone who's attending as well, thank you all for being here through everything and sharing, you know, this tough period with us. It is truly appreciated by the family. And Mama, you know, just on behalf of everyone in the family, we love you, we always have, and even though you're not here physically, we always will love you too. Because we know you're still loving us and looking out after us. So everyone, thank you, and Om Shanti, and good night.
Thank you, Glenn, for that wonderful description, of course, of the great impact that the deceased Mother Batiah Parmasar would have had upon the family and extended family, and of course the very colorful and wonderful, jovial person that she was, and of course I think that of course continues to remain with us even as we remember her here tonight. At this point in time, can I let us all stand for our tea? on her journey onwards. Mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktihinam janadhanam yakujitam mayanevam paripurvam tadastu me. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva Tvameva bandhusya sakha tvameva Tvameva vidyadranayam Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Om Shanti 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 Hari.